Hey everybody, Jason here. Today I'm going to finish up my B5M review. So if you watch any of my other videos, you probably know that I've already bought the Team Associated RC10B5, the rear motor car, and it's super durable, good car, but the mid-motor craze is just taking over here. And I think in a lot of cases, where you do have a lot of traction, specifically on surfaces like carpet or sugared up high bite, blue groove type surfaces, mid-motor cars are going to be faster. And so I jumped on the bandwagon. I knew I was going to the 2014 Cactus Classic at SRS and thought, you know what? I wanted a mid-motor car. I wanted the most durable car I could find. And so I got my hands on a B5M and that's where I raced it. Now, just before anybody asks, I got my butt kicked and it is what it is. I didn't really have any clean runs, but the car didn't break and the car was actually really hooked up and drove really well. But just driver error, I guess. But the car itself was really good. Something that's really interesting about the B5M, especially on these super high bite surfaces, or at least at Cactus anyways, a lot of the guys had gone to flat front arms. They actually went away from the gull wing arms that come with the kit. So the big difference between the B5 and the B5M, other than obviously it's a mid-motor car, the car comes with gull wing front arms and a different shock tower to match the arms, and it comes with aluminum chassis. Now, the Associated engineers have already discussed this to death, and I won't bore you guys to death. The rear motor car comes with a composite chassis. The mid motor car comes with an aluminum chassis. And Cody Newmadal, who is one of the engineers that really had a big hand in the mid motor car, kid's an amazing driver, super smart. He basically said that the reason they ended up using the aluminum chassis, they would have preferred to have used a composite chassis because there's no, with aluminum, if it bends, you might not notice it. A composite chassis is either broke or not broken, and I do like that idea. But the reason they used the aluminum chassis is they just couldn't get enough ribbing to create the strength and rigidity that they wanted in the rear of the car, so they ended up going aluminum. So it's just that simple. Overall, the car works really good. Right out of the box, I just built it basically. I built the car, and to be completely honest with you, I was being lazy. And when I was at the Reedy race, I had the chance to ask Ryan Mayfield what he thought about shock packages, and he told me flat out, he said, a lot of times you take the shock package off of your rear motor car, and it'll work great on your mid motor car. And so that is exactly what I did. I pulled the shock package off of my B5 and put it on the B5M, and the car was good right out of the box. I didn't change anything. I didn't change the trail. I didn't change absolutely nothing. I just took the shocks off, put them on, drove the car out of the box, and it was really, really good. Two quick things about the B5M build. It built very, very well, very similar to my B5. Obviously, it's got the aluminum chassis, but the two things that I noticed more than anything were the turnbuckles. The ball cups seem to fit better over the ball studs. There's just less friction. They were just more free. Even on my rear motor car to this day, there's still quite a bit of stiction. And I realized there's a large opening and a small opening on the actual ball cup itself. Of course, I used the large opening when snapping them on. But in the mid motor car, it just fit better. I don't know if this is something that Associated has done intentionally, or if they've changed the molds, or if it's just a production issue or a quality control issue. I don't know. But the ball cups fit much better on the actual mid motor car. And the shock bodies themselves, the anodizing on the shock bodies seems to be much brighter. It just has a much brighter sheen. Seems to be a little bit of a lighter gunmetal color that that they anodize the shock bodies. But overall, those are really the only two things. It built really well. Plastics were great, just like the B5. So good car. And let's get on with the review. So my overall impression of the car is really good. It drives good, jumps good, lands good. It's really durable. There are a couple little odds and ends that I didn't care for, and I've heard that they've been corrected with some of the hard parts that you can buy as options for the car. The front inserts inside the steering blocks, they wiggle a little bit. Let me show you real quick. You can see they're kind of wiggling inside the steering block, and it just is what it is. The rear arms right here, you'll see the rear arms. They actually there's a little bit more slop going forward and back than I would have cared for. I've heard this can be fixed with the aluminum arm mounts. And those are really my only gripes. I mean, the car is really good. It's smooth, drives good, jumps good, lands good, very adjustable. Personally, I liked the mid-motor car better than the rear motor car, probably just because it had more on-power steering. Obviously there's more weight farther forward. I did try running the car at Cactus with a shorty all the way back, a shorty all the way forward, and finally I settled on saddles 4 millimeters from the rear. With the shorty, the car, I actually like the way the car drove better with the shorty, but it just did crazy wheelies in the back straight anytime you really got into the throttle, and that just, you know, it's not going to cut it. Not that it really mattered for me, I guess. Anyways, the car is good. Obviously, these guys made it look good. You know, these pro drivers, they can drive. These guys can drive just about anything anyways. So even if the car wasn't good, you wouldn't know by watching them. You'd know by watching a local club racer. So a good car. If you guys have questions, comments, please feel free to leave them below. Just to give you a quick idea, I settled on my local club setup. I still like the white spring in the back, the green spring in the front. Everyone told me that was the wrong spring to run, but that's what I liked. That's what felt good for me. A lot of the guys were running heavier front packages, front springs. I know at Cactus, Ryan Mayfield was running 2-hole 1/6s front and rear, white springs front and rear, and I think, you know, he told me, but I forgot, maybe 32-30, 35-30, I don't know. I think a lot of times they keep the cars on the higher bite surfaces, only about 2.5 weight different in the oil. But if this traction goes down, then they might actually go down, you know, spread it out 5 weight, go a little softer in the back, get it to transfer weight a little bit faster. So good car. I'm going to be comparing this car to the RB6, the Serpent, and the Losi coming up really soon. So if you're curious to see how that is, keep an eye out for, I don't know if we're going to call it the two-wheel buggy rumble or the buggy shootout or King of the Hill or what we're going to call it, but I got a bunch of buggies coming. We're going to build them, play with them, test them out, and I'm going to share my opinion, and I'm going to share the opinions of other club racers that are you know, some that are have a little bit more skill than me, some that have a little bit less, and so you can see what not only what I think, but what some of the other guys think. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.
23.1 last lap for Tebow, 22.5 for Ben, 22.9 for Fisher. Cavaliers 23 flat. 23.2 for Spencer, 22.9 for Mayfield. 20 seconds to go, 20 to go. Huge gust of wind. Coming here in the closing seconds of this heat. Jared, Fenn, Fisher. Jared and Fenn tied. 5:01.1 is the pace. Oh, your top 10 drivers here in two-wheel drive modified. This division presented by Team Associated. Final heat here for the top dogs in two-wheel drive. Fast guy out of the gate gonna be